destination. It saw a very difficult times also in terms of tourism. There were not much.
Obviously you don't celebrate a bad day, you mark a bad day, but I understand the slip of tongue. Stay with me. So the assessment from Srinagar as we speak at this hour is things are nervously quiet, they're calm. There have been what can only be described as a face-off between security forces and other terrorists, maybe connected, maybe not connected to what's taken place. You can argue they're all connected. That has disrupted the peace yesterday. Everybody who was in Srinagar as a tourist hasn't left. But there are a few people who are leaving. Some people, in fact, have indeed arrived. Now, whether they assess to leave immediately or not, we don't know. Okay? But otherwise, Srinagar at this moment is calm. We've seen some protests going on. He's mentioned a black day has been marked. And the establishment has said that we are with the center, whatever the center decides. Now, we don't know that yet. We only know something is going to happen. Ajay is in Jammu. Okay. Now, Ajay for the past 25 years has been covering incident after incident on the LOC. He's the kind of guy who goes down to the LOC and enters the bunkers and sees the areas where these infiltrators come in from. So he's one of the most experienced people that we have, probably one of the most experienced in the country at this point, who knows the LOC really, really well. Now, Ajay, Jammu, because yesterday we saw protests blocking the highway to Srinagar. What is the status of those protests now?
See, Rishabh, yesterday protest was going on, and today even there were some protests which people basically are angry, and they are showing their anger to the nation and definitely to the enemy Pakistan as well, because they know that it was a heinous crime which they have committed by targeting the tourists over there. So that's why they are in the pain, and they say that we want action to be taken against Pakistan to end this terrorism. Rishabh, this is for the first time, as you said, for the last 25 years I'm covering Jammu and Kashmir. What I have seen that everyone is in the pain, whether they are the Kashmiri politicians, whether they are the Kashmiri people, whether they are the security forces personnel. They say that if we could have been there, then we might have not allowed terrorists to do such thing. But unfortunately, they were not there, and that's why they were able to do it, which is really painful. But force is there on the job to ensure that wherever these terrorists are hiding, whether they are in the Pahalgam forest area, whether they are in the adjoining area, I will not name the location where these searches are going on, but forces, I have cordoned off that area, whether it is Pahalgam or adjoining area, to ensure that terrorists, those who are responsible for this attack, they will not be spared. They will not flee from that location. One local terrorist and three non-local, so three Pakistani terrorists, those who were there, they are also, the forces have also announced 20 lakh rupees each reward on these. Anyone will share the information related to these terrorists where the sketches has been issued by the police. They will be rewarded, and definitely forces, they want locals to contribute in this, and definitely they are going to do it.
Okay. So let's just address this issue. Pahalgam, the meadow, Ajay, from there to the nearest area of the LOC, 100 kilometers more?
Yes, Rishabh, it's far from that area, about 100 kilometers. There is a
so no way could they have walked or trekked 100 kilometers in 24 hours or 48 hours. No way, no chance that they covered 100 kilometers in mountainous terrain.
No chance, Rishabh.
So which means that they either went to ground, which means they had a pre-prepared hideout, or that they have tried to meld in with a local village. This is the only two options, correct, Ajay?
Yes, Rishabh, you rightly said, because it is not possible for these terrorists to go back to Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, since there are deployment of the forces, and as I told you, that area is fully under the cordon of the security forces, so they will not be able to flee. Only possibility, there are two possibilities. One, that they already have done the recce of this area. They already have seen that from where they have to exit that location and then go back to the hideout where they can easily hide. And other is that they might have dropped their weapons somewhere in a hideout, and then they might have joined the civil population so that no one will be able to identify them whether they are the terrorists or the common people, because that's why they are having one local terrorist from the Kashmir. So that is the only two options. But forces, you know, they are on the job. More than 1,500 people have been picked up for the questioning from the South Kashmir only. This is to ensure that if anybody is having any clue, they have collected the data, mobile data of that area. Wherever there is a mobile tower, their data has been taken so that that can be traced and people can be identified.
Okay, Ajay, one last question before I rope in Devika. What has been the situation on the LOC for the last 3 months? Because we perceive here in Delhi that there has been a bit of a ceasefire, things have been calmer, very little, you know, what was very usual, MMG, LMG, mortar shelling, very little. What's been the situation on the LOC in the last few months before I ask you what the situation is right now? What was it like in the last few months?
See, Rishabh, what we have seen in last 3 months, that there were number of ceasefire violations from the line of control, on the line of control from the Pakistan side. They have targeted the Indian Army Jawans with the IDs. They have targeted patrolling parties on the line of control in the Poonch. They have pushed in terrorists and carried out attack on the Indian convoy in the Keri Batal in Sundarbani sector area of line of control. So this basically was showing that Pakistan is trying to basically do something big, and for that purpose they have pushed in a number of terrorists. About 60 to 70 terrorists were managed to cross the line of control or the international border to reach Jammu and Kashmir, because there are a number of loopholes, there are a number of border bodies and the snow-bound areas
so
which
they have managed
to cross.
It's been roughly at par with what the Pakistanis are usually up to. Now you tell me, in the last 48 hours, Ajay, what's been there on the LOC? Are we seeing increased firing, retaliatory firing? What's been happening in the past 48 hours?
3 incidents has taken place on the line of control. First was the infiltration attempt, which basically was foiled on the Uri sector of line of control in Kashmir. 2 incidents, one of ceasefire violation from the Pakistan side and the Mender sector of Poonch. And yesterday, even late night, some suspicious movement was spotted by the Indian Army Jawans in the forward area of KG sector, and that was also foiled. And Indian Army, they have opened fire and they have foiled that attempt.
So you've seen 3 incidents in the last 48 hours since we got information of what happened in Pahalgam. 2 of them seem like infiltration attempts, and 1 was cross-border firing. India has retaliated to all 3. But other than these 3, what you're seeing, ladies and gentlemen, is the calm, and I suspect it's the calm before the storm. Ajay, Brian, we'll come back to you. Thank you. Devika.